Dude, I hate to say it, I think the Texas Rangers are the soft sell. Pieces like Lorenz and guys like that probably are not going to be able to. Happy Independence Day. The All-Star break is coming up in Major League Baseball, which means the trade deadline is only a short little ways away as well. So today, just like last year, I'm going to be going through and telling you whether each team should buy or sell. We actually have 5 different categories on a tier list. Like and subscribe if you have not already. If you want to go see maybe the All-Star game, if there's tickets still available, or any MLB game, any kind of anything that has a ticket, make sure you go to SeatGeek and use code Century17 for $20 off your first purchase of $50 or more. SeatGeek gets you the best deals all over the internet. All the tickets are all in one centered place. And you can save yourself $20 extra as well. Code Century17 on SeatGeek. Pretty big sponsorship here in the making as well. Coming up very soon. Probably will be ready by next week. A lot of content to come from that and giveaways, so stay tuned. That being said, let's go ahead. Let's get into the video. Welcome back to the tier list. We have 5 categories today rather than 6. Up at top, we got the teams who I think are going to be big buyers who are going to make a pretty significant move at this deadline. We got the teams who are going to go ahead and make additions. The teams who I think are relatively going to stay pretty put. Some teams are going to go with a soft sell, and then some teams, all things really have to go. They will be selling. Now, just like last week, I'm going to start this bottom tier, put the teams who I think belong down here, and then work our way up. It should be noted, some of these teams are kind of a hard ranking to do because it's kind of what I think they should do and what they're probably going to do kind of mixed into one. The teams that need to sell hard. The Rockies have pieces to do so. White Sox obviously do. Marlins for sure. Angels, yes. Blue Jays, this feels like the year to sell. And now here's 2 that are probably going to confuse you a little bit. I've got the Cubs, who I think should go with a pretty hard sell. And I've got the Tigers, who should go with a pretty hard sell. Let's start out with those 2 teams. The Tigers, really, it's a seller's market. There's a lot of teams that are going to be wanting to add because they're so close to the playoff race this year. The Tigers have pieces that can definitely be moved. Jack Flaherty to be one, who been one of the better pitchers in baseball this year. He's on a 1-year deal. While Skubal probably won't get moved, I've seen Tigers Twitter get all over it a little bit just because they say the bringing in the pieces that they need hitting wise probably might be worth it to trade away Skubal for that. This team's problem is hitting. They feels like they can develop pitching at a pretty decent rate. They're a little better than middle of the pack pitching wise, and that's something they can spend money on. They need some kind of bat. They really have nothing. Colt Keith's been really disappointing. Riley Green's been great. Needless to say, they have pieces they can sell. The Cubs are just really down bad this year. As far as I know, they're still last place in their division. They just keep losing. It's been a disaster. They can move off of Bellinger. It wouldn't be crazy to say they could move off of Ian Happ, who's still got, I think, another year after this, maybe a year and a half. Ian Happ, switch hitting left fielder who plays solid defense, could probably get you something pretty decent in return. Bellinger's got those weird opt-outs and stuff in his contract, so that would all probably work out. Other than that, you don't have a ton you can move off of, maybe a Tyon if somebody wants something like that, but they definitely should consider going with a pretty hard sell on pieces like that. The Blue Jays, obviously people talk about Vladdy, people talk about Bo. Feels like Bo's value is at an all-time low right now. I know it doesn't make sense. It feels like the time you should trade him because it feels like things just aren't working out for him. Vladdy I would keep around and try to extend him. He's really kind of been playing at a much better rate recently, and he feels like the guy who you should probably try to keep around more than Bo. The Angels have pieces like Taylor Ward, Tyler Anderson, Luis Rengifo, pieces that another team will want. Rengifo, switch hitting, plays anywhere, like having a really nice year, OPS in the 8s. Taylor Ward, just a solid ball player. Tyler Anderson's having a career year right now. Angels have pieces. Marlins, are they going to move off of Jazz Chisholm? I think probably this year, but even then you get other pieces. Brian De La Cruz, who's having a pretty nice power year. Jesus Luzardo, who's had some health concerns, but he probably will be moved away this year. They need to go with a hard reset and just rebuild it completely. White Sox, obviously there's Robert, there's Crochet, there's all these pieces like that. Do they go off of an Andrew Vaughn this year? They need to give guys restarts, and they probably need to restart themselves. Restock the farm because they don't have a good one. The Rockies have, while you could trade away Kel Quantrill, I think they should extend him. Ryan McMahon is a piece that will be very desired at the deadline. They probably should think about selling off a lot of their pieces. Teams who I think should and maybe will go with a softer sell. I think the A's have some young talent that's playing pretty well, and they should try to keep it around. I don't think trading away Mason Miller is really a great idea because he kind of, for a while, changed the outlook of the team a little bit. If you're a team that's trying to build, he might be a guy who's worth keeping around. The Mets have pieces to deal away. They got very hot in June. Seems like they're kind of coming back and middling back down. They'll probably be kind of on the fringe kind of piece, but it feels like they're going to trade away their guys on one-year deals like Severino. JD Martinez probably will be gone. They're probably going to trade away guys like that and try to compete with other things. Because guys like Mark Vientos are giving him a really nice performance right now. Dude, I hate to say it. I think the Texas Rangers are going to soft sell here. Pieces like Heaney, Lorenzen, guys like that probably are not going to be on the Rangers, which is so weird because they're the World Series champions. It's just going as bad as it possibly could right now. Those are the only 3 teams I actually have in soft sell. I don't have many teams in stay either. The Nationals, I think, should stay. They could be also into the soft sell category. I don't think they're going to make additions because I don't think they want to give up anything in the farm. If they sell anything, it would be like Trevor Williams. That's probably about it. Maybe a Winker. Lane Thomas, I could see them moving off of, but I think they will and probably should just stay pat with what they have because they're not too far off of a playoff spot right now. I think the Diamondbacks just overall stay. I kind of went back and forth in my head. Will they buy? What will they do? I don't think they're going to buy. It's weird. They don't have holes, like maybe a pitching rotation, like a pitcher, but it's like they have guys there. It's just guys aren't giving them great performances. Feels like it's going to be something they're going to bank on to get better. They probably overall will just stay. I don't think they're going to sell because they're so close as well. I think Tampa Bay mostly stays. They traded away Savali, but that wasn't really a piece who was doing like a whole lot for them or anything. Overall, I think that they're probably just going to end up staying. I don't think Randy gets traded or anything like that. I think the Reds stay. I don't really think they have any pieces really to move off of. Candelario still got 2 more years after this. Martinez still, I believe, has another year. So I don't think they have really anything to trade away because they're so young and anything they have is kind of... They don't really have any rentals or anything. Then the Giants, who made all those additions, they're pretty middle of the pack, but they don't really have anything to sell, honestly. So I think they're mostly just going to stay put. We move up a tier to the teams who are going to make additions, but kind of more supplemental pieces, nothing super huge. This one's kind of weird. Padres I'm going to put there. They already made huge additions in the offseason, and then they added a rise. So now it's probably just going to be a supplemental piece, maybe another pitcher. I think the Pirates make supplemental moves as well. I'd love to see them get Luis Robert, but I don't think they're going to. Brewers traded for Savali. I think they're going to make moves like that. Royals will probably make additions, something like that, as will the Cardinals. 2 teams, I feel like in similar boats, similar record-wise, kind of going in 2 different directions, though. Kansas City has good young talent, and I think that they're just going to try to add probably another infield bat, something like that. And then the Cardinals probably add a pitcher of some kind, but they also probably could use an outfield bat. Maybe just someone to DH for them every day. I don't know. JD Martinez could be a move. I think the Twins go into this as well. Feels like they're going to try and get a pitcher because Pablo's not really doing so well for them this year. Royce Lewis just went back to the IL, but this morning, so that guy cannot stay healthy. I don't think the Phillies make the big move. I think they make something like a Taylor Ward type. Went through that kind of fast, but these are the teams who are going to make softer moves. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the other 8 teams I have in the big buyers, which include the Yankees. The Yankees are finding holes a lot everywhere. These past couple of weeks, they've been losing a lot. I like Ryan McMahon to go to them because he feels like a perfect fit, a lefty who plays multiple infield positions at a very well rate. I don't think they bring in any pitching because their worst pitcher right now is like Rodon, and even he's just kind of middle of the pack. He's fine for like a 4th or 5th starter, and they probably are just going to get healthier as the year goes on in that facet as well. I think the Red Sox make a move. I think they go out and get some kind of ridiculous bat at this deadline. Some kind of middle infielder who's going to do something for them. I don't know who it is, but I feel like getting a middle infielder is going to be their play. The Braves are going to, maybe it's not making a big move, but they're going to make a lot of moves because that's kind of where they're at right now. It's 2021 light. They're doing better than they were in 2021 record-wise, but things are not super positive for the Braves right now, and they need an outfielder bad, a lefty outfielder pretty bad. The Orioles are going to make a big move for a pitcher. They've got pitching health problems right now, and overall that's kind of been their downfall. Their offense is completely fine, 1 through 9. Maybe a center fielder, I don't think so, but 1 through 9, they're pretty ridiculous. Guardians also need a starting pitcher or 3 pretty badly. Tristan McKenzie got sent down. If they don't that lack of depth is going to catch up to them, and they're not going to be able to sustain the success that they have right now, because starting pitching is a pretty big problem for them. The Dodgers are going to add some kind of bat at the deadline. I don't really know who it is, but someone who's probably going to get a lot of playing time for them, because they've got injury problems as well. Maybe they bring in a bottom of the line starter as well. Houston needs a starting pitcher. A lot of these teams need starting pitching, but Houston's probably going to get a starting pitcher as well. I don't think they're going to move off of Bregman or anything. It feels like they have pretty much two pretty big. It's weird. They have two options. They could either go with a really big sell and get rid of Bregman, get rid of Tucker, or they have to buy someone pretty big. Starting pitcher probably, because they've got injury problems there as well. And the Mariners need to add any kind of bat, like maybe two big bats. I like Pete Alonso to go to them as a pretty good move. Bellinger from the Cubs is a good fit for there, a lefty to pair with Julio. I like something like that for them. Well, that is the tier list here. Happy Independence Day. Teams as buyers or sellers. Let me know what you guys think about your team, because a reminder, you know more about them than I do. Let me know what you guys think. How are you thinking about your team and what they're going to do with this deadline? Go buy yourself some merch in the description if you're still here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.